What's going on, everybody? So, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. This one's going to be a quick one. I'm going to talk about, if you didn't already tell from the title, the best foods, the number 3 best foods. And obviously this is a personal opinion, but over my experience and my research and just well-being and experimenting, experiencing, that's how I came to these conclusions. And not only am I going to tell you these 3 foods that I think are the best foods, I'm also going to say that I'm also going to explain why. I'm going to explain why. And these, obviously, I haven't had every food out there, but these foods I'm naming are actually super common too. So let's get to them. I knew nothing about food my whole life until about 22, 23, somewhat on the vegan diet. That's when I first started finding out about food. Now we're here. I'm 27, about to be 28 in October. Also, my video formats, before I get to this, are going to be changing because I'm going to have some like different stuff, some tapestry, a mini little gong. Yeah, it's going to be real interesting. I'm actually going to pursue this, wholeheartedly. I'm going to pursue this channel, and with my other things. There's not editing because I don't have time to edit. You know, maybe I do. Maybe I will in the future. I would love to, but I have to do so many other things. And I just don't have time for this, to edit videos. And I don't really care. I don't really watch videos to see something necessarily. And especially I don't like when people chop up videos. Unless it's like a music video, because then it's too much. Anyways, especially when people are just talking and they have to cut themselves out, because that's kind of, yeah. The number 1 food I would say is bacon. And the reasoning behind this is because it has so much fat in the bacon. And what the fuck, I've never heard anybody say they don't like bacon. And it's also a delicacy. Is it delicacy or delicacy? Delicacy. Delicacy. And that tells you something already there. That it's a delicacy and means it's higher valued. It's re-owned almost. And why I picked this over animal organs because between meat, like just hamburger meat, chicken liver, yada yada yada, because this is a whole food where you get the protein and the meat. Protein and the fat. And that's it. Like, you got the protein and the fat, which is what people need, and you get the fat and the need, more of the need than you need, or that's perfect, you could say. And then you get the little bit of protein, which makes bacon perfect food. And again, everyone loves bacon, so there it is. Also, we will consider another thing is they put in salt usually in bacon, pretty much all the time. It's almost impossible to find bacon without unsalted bacon. And salt actually does you good for plenty of reasons, but we'll just leave it at that. Whether it's sea salt, regular salt, because it's usually regular salt, doesn't matter. It's still beneficial because it just is. Your body needs it if you're not getting it by other means. So bacon. Number 2 best food in here is eggs. Even though you might not be able to survive off of eggs, they're so powerful and mixed in with the bacon, they are complete food. Bacon already is a complete food, but eggs are almost a complete food. And to some, they probably can be. Not for everybody though, I don't think so. And eggs are just like, they're like just like a power supplement, basically. They're like a mini powerhouse. Now, the protein's not necessarily the same as meat, and so that's why you can't survive off of eggs. But they do have benefits to them. They can be energizing, and they can have fats. But it's the protein, I think, when we get to them, the protein that's not, it can't give you just the whole boost. That's why you need, AKA the meat, the whole protein from animal meat, not the egg. Anywho, and then there's just a bunch of whole plethora of other things in it. And the third one, which this is pretty much I'll say it at the end, I guess. The third one is milk, and more so raw milk. Even pasteurized for dummies, but if you have raw milk, and just milk, whatever, in general, we don't need to say raw, but raw milk, any milk from sheep, it could be from a camel, I was about to say camel, obviously steer, whole cow milk. I don't know why I wanted to say freaking elk, not elk milk, but a moose milk. These milks can give life and almost sustain life. Some people can live off milk and just eggs alone, but I wouldn't risk it, and I wouldn't even do that, because 10 to 1, your body's going to need the protein from meat, and that's why these foods don't necessarily make it. And you could say, damn, well, how do they make 2 or 3 anyway? Because they're so beneficial. They're just like so beneficial, milk and eggs. And then that's why it's pretty much the American breakfast, which is basically baking, eggs, cheese, and milk, but just baking, eggs, and milk is what the 3 best foods are. And these are pretty much guaranteed for anyone to be healthy, some of the best foods. And when we look at them, these foods actually keep you satiated longer, especially the fat in foods, especially fat in bacon. Fat's gonna fuel you longer because that's what it does, basically. So I was gonna say we don't need to talk about the science behind it, because I don't care about vitamin A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, or any of the vitamins or any of the minerals, because it's pointless. Because when we eat the egg, we are eating the egg. We don't even gotta call it the egg. We're just eating it. We're not searching for mineral A through Z. I don't like talking science. I don't like talking any of that. We could say protein and fat. That's about as simple as we're gonna get. Well, as complex as we're gonna get, because we don't need to go beyond that. There's no reason. We can say vitamins and minerals, but we don't need to name them, because we're just gonna get further away from the truth. You want to talk about, oh, celery has antioxidants, well, anti-nutrients, or it has this inside of it, and cumin has this spice which activates this in there, and turmeric gets rid of arthritis because of this inside of it. It doesn't matter. Does it do it or does it not? Can you, all this nonsense with making things more complex than there is, just a bunch of nonsense. And this is it. Which is basically an American breakfast at the end of the day: eggs, bacon, and milk. And milk is one of the best things to end on this, because it's just so life-giving, and it's just full of stuff. You got fat in it. You could say nutrition. You could say vitamins, minerals. Doesn't matter which ones. It doesn't even matter. It just has life inside of it. And that's what you get when you drink it. You get life. And it's very good. It's very good. It can do a lot of things, cure a lot of things. And that's basically it. And not to mention, all these foods I did mention with bacon taste pretty fucking wonderful. So, especially milk. Milk can taste wonderful. And bacon, of course, like I already said. So those are my 3 foods, what I think are the best foods. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. Have a nice day. Subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think are the best foods. And we could talk about it. All right. Have a nice one.